Hi everyone, it's Amy. I'm back for my second Flosstube. I hope you enjoyed the first one. I've had a really great response to it from friends and family and strangers, so that's been great. I've had a really busy week, even though we're on lockdown. I feel like I'm constantly busy. I barely have time to fit all the things in that I want to do, which is really good for me. Um, One good thing that's happened this week is that I managed to get a second-hand sewing machine. I've wanted a sewing machine for so long, always thought they were a bit too expensive, and but managed to get a great bargain. It was advertised for £70, managed to knock them down to 50. Me and my husband went and picked it up. It's socially distancing, obviously, at the weekend, and thanks to YouTube, I've learnt to make a few things. The first thing I wanted to make was a grind guard, because I know I can buy them, but they looked kind of easy to make, and I managed to make them. This was just made out of an old sheet, believe it or not. But yeah, I followed a tutorial, and it worked out really well. Fits perfectly, and so that was the first thing that I made. And then I made some whip bags. This is for either an 8x8 Q-snap, or it does fit a 9x11 as well. And then I made, this was the first bag I made actually, which was just a bag, not lined or anything. Then I managed to make the lined bag, which I was really pleased with myself over. Never really used a sewing machine before. This is another whip bag that I made. Again, it's lined. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Another thing that's been really good this week that's happened, well, not so good, is that I broke the clamp to my Lowry stand. Well, I say I broke it, it broke. It was second hand when I bought my Lowry stand. Absolutely changed my life having one. If you've never had a Lowry stand, I'll show you it in a different video, how it works and everything. But to hold you, it can hold a frame, a Q-snap, something like that, a wooden frame. It can hold a hoop, but it absolutely changes your life once you've got one. But it broke in here. A little piece of metal came out, and now when I turn this, it literally just goes round and round, doesn't move up and down, doesn't clamp onto anything. It was a bit of a nightmare trying to track down a new clamp. Lakeside didn't have any, Lowry themselves didn't have any. Managed to find a company called Y Needlecraft, who I've never used before, and ordered through them. Didn't hear anything for about 5 days. I didn't get a confirmation of my order or a dispatch notice or anything like that. So I ended up giving them a call, and they said that they didn't have any in stock. They'd have to go to Lowry. It would probably take about 2 weeks, but they'd be back in touch with me. 15 days went past, still hadn't heard anything. So I decided to put up a bit of a moaning post on the Cross Stitch Friends UK Facebook page, saying that I know it's a bit of a first world problem and there's other things going on in the world right now, but I was really struggling to stitch without it, and I was just upset that I just didn't seem to be able to get hold of one. And a lovely lady said, well, I've got one you can have. I ordered it, it's the wrong one, it doesn't fit my clamp, it doesn't fit my stand, you can have it for nothing. And I couldn't believe it. I absolutely couldn't believe it. So I called Y Needlecraft back on Tuesday as soon as they opened after the bank holiday. They still hadn't received it back from Lowry, so it was God knows how long it was going to be. So I cancelled my order, and this lovely lady sent me it completely for free, next day delivery. I said to her, please let me at least pay for postage. She wouldn't hear of it. So I have my new one over here, which is absolutely perfect. Goes up and down, that's all we want it to do, and it's absolutely perfect. I'm going to see if I can send this old one to Lowry to see if they can fix it, because if they can, then at least I've got a spare, and it's a shame to just throw it away, really, when I feel like it could probably be fixed. But yeah, that was amazing, and that just shows the power of these Facebook groups, I think, and the community, the cross-stitching community, how everyone is just there for each other, which is really good. Also, speaking of Flosstube and making my own Flosstube, I've been watching Flosstube for a couple of years now, And I really like a lovely lady called Stitching Jules. She's in America. I believe she's a vet. That's what she does as a job. But she does these Flosstube videos, and she likes to do really, really, really huge cross stitches. Not for me, they're not for me, but I just love listening to her. She's a really down to earth, lovely lady. And she started to live stream on Twitch, which so I've signed up to Twitch, and I watched her live stream the other day. And on Twitch you can communicate with the person that's doing the video, and you can write messages to them. And I was like a little fangirl when I wrote a little message to her saying hello, and she said hi to me back, and we had a little interaction. And my family think I'm absolutely mental, but it's what makes me happy. So that was a cool thing that happened as well. That brings me on to my whips. I've still only got 2 whips, just because I can't get my head around having more than that. It just doesn't seem to be something that I want to do. So at the moment I've got 2. This is the one for my husband that is almost finished, and the reason it's not finished, it just has some wording around here which I need to do, and it has backstitch all over it. And the reason I've not backstitched it yet is because I need to get the black thread, which should have been posted yesterday. So hopefully by the weekend I should have the black thread to backstitch it, and then that'll be finished. And then I'll be framing it, and I'll probably do a video when I frame it, just to show people how I frame things myself. So that's that one. And then we had the new start on the Nora Corbett Fairy Letter M, and this fabric I found on eBay. Absolutely fell in love with it when I saw it, even though the pictures actually didn't do it justice. But when I did see it, I just couldn't believe it. I'm sorry, the dog is behind the camera. He's wobbling what I've got it standing on. But this is my Fairy Letter M, which I will put a picture in here. Of the original, but I'm converting this to pinks, as you can see. And I don't know whether you can tell in this light, the light's not very good, but this fabric is just absolutely beautiful. It's just to die for. It's like a violet, lilac-y colour, mottled effect, and it's 32 count, which I've never ever stitched on before, and I was a bit nervous about it, but it's literally like stitching through a cloud. That's how I feel right now, compared to the Ada that I was using on the Royal Engineers. This is 14 count Ada, I think, and I feel like I'm never ever going to go back to Ada again, because this is just wonderful to stitch on. So yeah, this was a new start about 2 days ago. I've done a little bit. This is going to be her. So what it is it's a fairy in the middle, big wings, and then the letter M, and it's by Nora Corbett, one of her fairy letters. And so yeah, I've made quite a good start on that, I think. Loving stitching it already, absolutely loving stitching it already. And that's it for my whips, because I only have 2, but I do have another one already kitted up and ready to go. I just haven't taken the plunge yet, because 3 whips just is too much for me. I just like to do one, finish one, do one, finish one. What I've got ready to go though is my conversion of Mirabilia's Cathedral Woods Goddess, who is absolutely gorgeous. Can't really see what I'm showing you, but there she is. But I'm going to be doing her in more autumnal colours. I think her dress is pretty much the same colour, but the, what are they that she's holding, leaves and things that she's holding, are more orangey colours really. And I wanted to do her on a certain colour, but I didn't know if I was going to be able to find it, so I decided to dye some 28 count even weave myself, and this is what came out. I don't know if it's going to pick up the colour properly, But this was dyed with coffee and tea. Big pan of water, massive handful of tea bags, cupful of coffee, instant coffee. Boil it, scrunch the fabric up and boil it in there for about 25 minutes. And then when it comes out, you rinse it in cold water, and then you lay it out on a baking tray on top of greaseproof paper so it doesn't stick to the tray. And you sort of ruffle. It's flat, but it's sort of ruffled as well. It's kind of hard to explain without showing you, but you ruffle it, but then squash it down so it doesn't burn too much, and you bake it in the oven at 170 for, again, about 20 to 25 minutes. When it gets to about 20 minutes, I sort of keep looking at it because I don't want it to burn really badly. And then take it out and iron it straight away, and you end up with this absolutely amazing effect. And it's just so beautiful with the threads. I mean, it's probably going to be impossible to see in this light, but with the threads, there's the sort of threads that it's going to be going with. And oh, you can't see that. You literally can't see that at all. That's the bead pack that goes with her. But I've got a bit of a dilemma now. I don't know if you can see the whole thing, but my dilemma is, which way up am I going to stitch her? Am I going to stitch her that way up or that way up? Because I realise there's kind of a light area in the middle, and I'm thinking that it's probably going to be best. In fact, what did I decide on? I can't remember. Yeah, I think it's probably going to be best that way up, with a head up here and a dress going down here. That is way up A, and that is way up B. And I'd love to know what you think. Should I do a this way up, which is B, or this way up, which is A? I hope you understand what I'm trying to sort of work out here. But it's just the way that she, the way that she stands. I'm thinking that the light bit in the middle will be pretty much covered by a dress anyway. Where's it gone? I can't see now. But it'll be pretty much covered by a dress anyway. So I think that's going to be okay. Yeah, there it is. So it's at the top now. But if I do it this way round, I think it's going to be better because her head will be up there. Not quite so high. This sort of area. And then the dress will go down. But that's my dilemma. I mean, I could also stitch her up on this, which is the other side, but it's nowhere near as detailed. And I don't like it. I prefer the other side. I prefer this side. So that's my dilemma. Yeah, that's it. That's all I've got going at the moment. I can't wait to start Cathedral Woods. I think that I'm absolutely going to fall in love with her. But as I said, I still I don't know if it's a confidence thing. I don't know. I feel like having too many whips would just be too anxiety inducing for me. I already am concerned that I haven't finished the Royal Engineers emblem, and I've started my new fairy. But my excuse to myself, and it's the truth, is that I can't finish the Royal Engineers until I've got the black thread, which is on its way. So as soon as that gets here, I'm going to be going back onto that. But my problem with the Royal Engineers one is that it literally makes my fingers bleed to stitch on it. This Ada, I was given it in a big box of cross stitch stuff that I saw on Freebay, which was amazing. Don't get me wrong, and the majority of it was amazing. And this was a massive roll of Ada, which I couldn't believe my luck when I saw. But I actually realised why it was given away now, and it's because it's horrendous, absolutely horrendous to stitch on. Especially with the fractional stitches on here as well. If I'd have known how bad it was going to be, I would have definitely done it on 28 count even weave. But I just wanted to get it started, and this is what I had here. And literally my fingers have bled from pushing the needle through, doing the fractional stitches. So I can't wait to finish it. I want it to be finished, but I'm not looking forward to finishing it because I know that my fingers are going to bleed again. So, but once it's done, and I'm so close to finishing it. I've done the letters in the bottom there, in one strand of normal thread and one strand of metallic. I did try to do it all in metallic, but you just couldn't see it. This is another one of my homemade grime guards from the good old sheet that I cut up to bits. Oh, I just practiced with a sheet because I didn't know how it was going to turn out. But they've turned out good. They do the job. So that's the main thing. Oh yeah, the other thing from this week as well is all these grime guards that I got on Facebook Marketplace. All these grime guards. £23 for all of them, including postage, which I thought was amazing because looking on Lakeside, brand new, I would have been looking over £40. So that was my absolute bargain as well. I need to stop spending so much time on Facebook Marketplace because I'm just seeing things I want all the time. That and Wish, it's not a good idea. But yeah, so my next video will be a progress update. Well, I would like to think that I will have started Cathedral Woods by then, and we'll see how I'm doing. But yeah, like I said, if you could help me with this fabric and which way up to do it, that would be brilliant. Thanks for watching. Bye.